What is up, you guys? It is Mr. What If here, bringing you a lovely brand new little video. And yeah, let's get started with Deku. What if Deku was Joker, except good guy? Part 3, I believe. Yeah, I think it's part 3. Yeah, I believe, yeah. If it's not, then maybe it's not. I forgot. My bad. I am not that a very forgetful type of person. Well, anyway, let's get into this brand new little part. Alright, so I left off with Deku and Bakugo getting ready to fight inside a class. Of course, they are getting ready to... Well, let's do a recap first. Recap, Deku got into UA. Deku was recommended by Principal Nezu. Was actually, instead of having All Might onto the screen, it was actually Principal Nezu that wanted to talk to him. Then the whole yada yada about how his quirk works. And we get the whole Aizawa. And we get the whole Momo and ex-Deku moment real quick. Then we got the Deku and Aizawa moment. Then we got all three. And then we got everybody 15 minutes later, walking in class, and Deku and Bakugo give each other the ultimate death stare challenge and get ready to attack each other. So yeah, that was a fast recap. My bad. Alright, so let's get into this. Yeah, so Deku and Bakugo getting ready to fight. Deku clenches his fists. Bakugo gets ready to prepare for an explosion, and then Deku actually gets a smirk on his face, pissing Bakugo off even more. So as soon as Deku gives a smirk, and then he says, Bakugo, I bet you won't be fast enough to hit me. And then Bakugo says, I'll of course beat you I'll beat you in or out of school. And then Bakugo tries to rush at Deku in an explosion. And this is when Deku would turn to Momo and wink at her. And then Momo would find this kind of confusing. Why did he turn around to wink? And then this is when Mr. Aizawa, which Deku planned, to use his quirk. And this is when Bakugo tried to go for an explosion, but his explosions automatically stop. And then he's like, wait a minute. And then he tries to generate another one, and it's not working. And then he says, what did you do, you damn nerd? And then Deku says, I didn't do anything. That was the teacher. And then Deku would turn back to Momo and said, that's why I winked at you. Because I wanted you to see what Mr. Aizawa's quirk can do. And what I meant by it. And look at his eyes. And then Momo would look at Mr. Aizawa and see that his eyes are red. And see his hair standing up with the little scarf, with his giant scarf flowing up with his hair. And then this is when Deku would start saying that, oh, Bakugo, you just don't know who you can trust nowadays, can't you? And then Bakugo would look at the teacher, seeing that the teacher's eyes was red with his hair standing up and with his scarf standing up. And this is when Bakugo was saying in his head, wait a minute, so the teacher, our new teacher has a quirk that's able to turn off our quirks? Wait a minute. That's not fair. And then Deku would say, you're probably thinking, Bakugo, how someone like our very own teacher has the ability to turn off quirks. And then Deku would say, remember, Bakugo, you might have a flashy quirk, but it's not the best one. And then Bakugo would get even more mad, trying to generate an explosion, and then Deku would say, you really aren't all that smart. You're not just more of a villain than I could ever be. You're also a very dumb one. And then Bakugo would get even more pissed off, and this is when Bakugo would try to go for a punch. And Deku would just dodge this with very ease. Like, Deku just closes his eyes, puts his hand behind his back, and then dodges the punch. And then Bakugo said, "You dodging little coward." And then Deku said, "Fine, go ahead, punch me, but I won't do nothing." And then Bakugo, of course, goes in for another punch. And this is when, instead of getting a punch, Deku would move out the way. And since Bakugo is just completely enraged and going all out full throttle, and then Bakugo would run into a wall. Blitz, right, like dash right into a wall. And then this is when everybody in Class 1A, even Ida, this is when everybody in Class 1A will start to laugh at Bakugo, and even Ida will give a little chuckle saying how funny that was. And then this strikes Momo's curiosity about him and Bakugo's relationship. And then let's skip to the part of this is when Mr. Aizawa says enough with all the clowning around. And then Deku will say, "That's funny." And then Mr. Aizawa says, "I don't care about that. Just put these training uniforms on and meet me downstairs on the training field." This is when everybody would go. And then in the locker room, the boys would see Deku getting changed. And then this was when they immediately see the burnt marks, the bruise. It looked like he got whip marks on him. He got a few cut marks, stitches. His bones look like he's getting ready to pop out of his body. Just very deranged looking. And then Kurashima would be scared to ask him, be like, Deku was it? And then Deku would say, "Yes." Redheaded guy. And then Kurashima says, "My name is Kurashima," and man, what happened to you? Look like you've been through hell. And then Deku will say, "Well, if you have a dad that has the ability to breathe fire that emits from hell, then yeah, you could basically say I've been there." And then Mineta would be so scared that he would actually pee on himself. And then Deku would say, "Why is the little weird looking? Why is the midget with the grape on his head, with the weird looking hair for a cork peeing on himself?" And this is when everybody will turn to look at Mineta peeing on himself from looking at Deku. And then this is when Denki will man, like really, what happened to you? And then this is when Deku says, "You want to?" And then this is when Deku will give a smirk and say, "You want to know how I got these scars?" And then this is when Mr. Aizawa walks in before Deku could say anything, and then says, "You guys need to hurry up, or you'll all be expelled." And then they say expelled. Wait a minute, what? Then Mr. Aizawa says, "Hurry up, so you can know what's going on." And then they all rush outside. And then the girls will see that Deku's skin is completely white, is paledish, and yeah, it looks like that his uniform doesn't even fit him. And then this is when Mr. Aizawa would say, "Bakugo, I want you to throw the ball. Since you did score the highest on the test, I want you to throw the ball." And then he says, "Bakugo, what was your score in middle school without using your cork for a ball throw?" 74 meters. Why? I'm not sure if that's accurate. Was it 74 meters that he said? I'm not sure. But yeah, he says 74 meters. Why? And then Mr. Aizawa says, "Alright, do it again, except this time with your cork." And then Bakugo shoots it. He'll get Bakugo kept losing. Well, has been training because he always lost to Deku after when Deku fully manifested his quirk. So I'll say that Bakugo actually gets 800 kilometers. 800 kilometers and meters. And then everybody will be like, "Wow, he's pretty powerful." And then Bakugo would look at Deku, and then Deku would just yawn, and then Bakugo get pissed off again, and Deku is still just yawning. And then this is when Mr. Aizawa says, if any of you don't take this seriously, you will be expelled. And the principal has given me full access to do it. I've expelled a school before. I will not hesitate to do it again. Sorry about that. To anybody that saw that, I'm sorry about that interruption. Yeah. So yeah. He said, I expelled a whole class before. I'm not afraid to do it again. And then everybody would get hyped up like they would usually. And then this is when this is when then they will start off with the race. First 5 people to race would be, and then the first 5 people will go, and then the last race would be Bakugo, Ida, Shoto Todoroki, Deku, and finally, I'll say finally for this head-to-head, I'll say the acid girl. Yeah, the girl with the acid quirk. And this is when Ida would zoom right past everyone. And then before Ida can reach the finish line, this is when Deku blitz right past him. And just for the people who's wanting to know why did Deku blitz past Ida, because remember, if you're a Joker fan like I am, if your favorite villain of all time is Joker, and you really enjoy the character, if you're a real Joker fan, then you would understand why Deku blitzed past Ida. Because if you read the comic books or anything about that, you'll know that in the comic books, when Joker would go up against the Flash, Joker was fast enough to dodge the Flash's punch. And we all know the Flash can move at light speed, and Joker was able to dodge the Flash and still shoot the Flash with a tranquilizer bullet, knocking the Flash out. So, if the Joker was fast enough to dodge the Flash and still shoot him, that means Joker's speed, even though it's only a Mach 2 level, he's got some speed to him. So yeah. And I know what you're gonna say. You can't just base this off of that one little thing. But technically, there's a lot of things with a whole lot of characters you can base off of one little thing with. So yeah. And remember, like I said, Arkham is a main enhancement quirk, and Joker never really relied on strength. He relied on speed and his weaponry. So, combined with Deku training ever since manifesting his full quirk, plus the quirk is also an enhancement for strength, but Deku mainly uses it for speed. And plus, come on now, he's got to be somewhat fast. And he would normally train his speed more than his strength because all he needs to do is take damage to be incredibly strong. So, since he only needs to take incredible damage to be incredibly strong, it wouldn't really work for his speed, so Deku would most likely train his speed than his strength. Because, like I said, Deku didn't really train, but when he did, he'll focus on speed. And then this is when Deku would blitz past Ida, so it would be Deku. Deku would get 2.4 seconds. Ida would get 2.15 seconds. Bakugo would get 3 seconds. And Shoto Todoroki would get 2.29 seconds. And Bakugo and the Acid Girl, they would both get... No, the Acid Girl will actually get 3.30 seconds. And Bakugo would get 3 seconds. So, yeah. Sorry if that math of speed terminology was incredibly wrong. I apologize. So yeah, everything else goes the same, but when it comes down to the ball throw basically goes the same except when it comes down to Deku's turn. Deku actually, Bakugo goes a course again. This time, Bakugo actually uses a little bit more power on the ball throw. His second time was going for the ball throw. He actually gets 850 meters or kilometers up in the sky. Meters up in the sky. And then Deku would say, even the first time you did it, you got 800. What, you added another 50 onto your percent of explosion power? And then Bakugo say, like, you can do better. And then Deku says, I don't think, I know. And then Deku goes for it. Deku loosens up, cracking his bones, cracking basically every bone on his body, cracking them. Which disgusts a few people. Basically everybody. And then Deku scratches his head, Deku, he's doing stretches real quick. The boy, he's getting a little loose. He let loose with the villainous juice. Alright? That's why I'm going. I'm sorry if that didn't make any sense to some people. Letting loose with the villainous juice. Letting that power flow through him. And Deku says, you know what? Let me try something. I ain't never really used the green smoke ability, so let me try it. And then this is when Deku would place the ball onto the ground, confusing everybody. And then Deku would put his hand on the ground right next to the ball, and then Deku would say, let's laugh. So that's basically going to be Deku's catchphrase, let's laugh. And then that's going to be one of Deku's catchphrases. He's going to have 3. Let's laugh, and I'll think of the other 2 later. So that's going to be one of Deku's 3 top catchphrases. Let's laugh. Then when he does this, green gust of wind starts to form around the ball. And then in an instant, a green straight up tornado starts to fly up and surround the ball completely like a green tornado. And then Mr. Aizawa looks onto the phone and it says that the ball is actually moving rapidly fastward up. And then the ball will get up to 300 meters. And then Bakugo would laugh, saying that little trick you didn't even work. And then Deku says, that's your problem, Bakugo. You think you know something, but you really don't. That's not what I did. And then this is when Deku will snap his fingers, and then a pressure of green smoke comes out from the bottom of the ball, rocking it upwards. So basically, the ball transformed into a rocket, projecting upwards from the green smoke coming out the bottom of the ball, rocketing the ball out. And then Mr. Aizawa would say that you didn't just use that green tornado to send the ball up. You used it to place smoke into the ball for high pressure. And then Deku would say, ding, 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 we have a winner. And then the ball is still rocketing up to the sky. And then Mr. Aizawa will look on his phone, and it says that Deku has actually reached up to 2,528 meters into the sky, basically somewhat close to sending it to outer space. 8%, I'm going to say a good 10% from the ball reaching outer space. Good 10%, a very good 10% from the ball reaching outer space. And this will piss Bakugo off. Like, you cheated. And Bakugo will be like, you damn nerd, you cheated. And why you didn't tell me you had this with your cork? And then Deku says, for the last time, I don't have to tell you anything. And then Bakugo says, yes you do. I have to beat you, I have to win. And then Deku would say, why do you have to win? And then Bakugo would just be like, because I have to, I'm the best. And the best always has to win. And then Deku would say, that's your problem. You think you're the best, but you're actually the worst. And then Bakugo would, of course, go ahead for another explosion. And then this is when Mr. Aizawa would tangle him up and tell him to calm down. And then Bakugo would try to break free. And then this is when Deku has the green smoke once again. And then puts his hand in front of Bakugo's face and cover his face with green smoke, knocking Bakugo out instantly. And I'll be leaving that on this note. Thank you to the people who have viewed, liked, and commented, and subscribed. Until the next time, my fam, Mr. What If signing off. Damn, this was a long video.